Hi everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt, and this is Son, and this is our AEW All Out Reactions. So yeah, we just finished watching AEW's All Out. We'll start with the buy-in quickly. We'll go through that. They had a women's casino battle royal. The winner of this would go against the winner of a women's match later on the main show to then go for the women's championship at a later date. Quick go through this. They had a few names. We'll go through them. Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Leva Bates, Awesome Kong, Bria Priestley, Brandy Rhodes, Ali, ODB, which is from Impact Wrestling. That was quite interesting to see her. Jazz, who was from WWE fame, and then there was Tenille Dashwood, who used to be Emma in WWE. We'll go through it quickly. Basically, Nyla Rose won, so she'll face the winner of that match. And then we had first tag team match, Private Party versus Jack Evans and Helico. Again, nice little match, nice little high flying spots. There's a nice standing Hurricanrana into an RKO or Diamond Cutter, whatever you want to call it. It was quite a nice spot. In the end, it was Private Party who actually got the victory. After the match, Jack Evans and Helico, they actually attacked Private Party, gaining heat. So that was the buy-in. Go to the main show now, because there's quite a lot to go through there. I think it was 10 matches overall, I think, through the buy-in and the main show. So let's get straight into them. So yeah, it was SCU versus Jurassic Express in a 3-on-3. Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Mark Stunt. And obviously SCU is Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, and Christopher Daniels. Nice little opener. I'm not really going to go back into it too much, to be honest. It was SCU that got the win. Next it was Pac versus Kenny Omega. Obviously originally it was supposed to be John Moxley, but he's out with an injury, so they sort of filled the spot with Pac. Yeah, this was a nice little good match. I thought on paper this one looks better than the John Moxley Kenny Omega match. I did put a note, barriers. The barriers I found at the ringside were quite close to the ring, so that when they were doing spots outside, they were clipping their legs on the barriers, which they could potentially injure themselves. So that was one of the notes that I come up with. But it was Pac who actually won with a brutalizer submission. He sort of, I don't know if he sort of choked him out and passed out or something.
Pac was Neville in WWE.
Yep, that's it. And Adrian Neville in the WWE. He's now in AEW as Pac. So yeah, it was a nice little match. It was as what I expected it to be from these two. Next, it was a triple threat. It was Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela in the Cracker Barrel clash. I don't really know what that is, but they're saying about 50 years of Cracker Barrel. Anyway, this was basically a triple threat hardcore match. There was everything in this. Jimmy Havoc started off with a stapler. He stapled himself. They tied, we'll go through some of the points. They're probably not going to be in order, but we'll just go through some of the highlights. They tied Jimmy Havoc to a chair, didn't they, and put thumbtacks in his mouth. They did a sort of spot from the outside onto Jimmy Havoc when he was tied onto the chair, I think. I put brutal match. This was really quite, really hardcore, to be honest. They put Joey Janela on a chair at one point. They did a flip, and he did a flip holding the chair, and he landed sitting on the chair, which was really quite cool. There was a skateboard with some thumbtacks on it. That was quite an interesting move. And then one of the highlights was they got the barrels, because there were some barrels, obviously Cracker Barrel around the ringside. They got the steps set out outside. They had, I think it was Jimmy Havoc, laying on the steps while Darby Allin got it. He sort of put it behind him. He did a back flip or sort of back slam onto the stairs with the barrel. Jimmy Havoc moved and the barrel exploded, and then they kind of done that again in the ring with Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janela. They sort of slammed him on it and booked it that way, and it was Jimmy Havoc who actually got the win. So yeah, it was quite a nice match. Not one I would particularly like on paper, but it was actually quite a cool match in the end. Next it was a tag team match, and the winner of this gets a first round bye in the tag team tournament, which is coming up. Dark Order versus Best Friends. Not going to go through it too much. The Dark Order actually won because the Creepers interfered. They got the fatality and they got the win.
I think the Dark Order squashed the Best Friends.
Well, basically, yeah. They tried to sort of attack after the match, only for the lights to go out. Then the lights to come out, and there was Orange Cassidy with hands in his pockets. He decided to do a bounce off the ropes, go through the ropes with his hands still in his pockets. He got back in the ring, hip up with his hands in his pockets. So all that with his hands in his pockets was quite cool. So yeah, he's now joined the Best Friends by the looks of it. Next it was what I'm calling a #1 contenders match for the Women's AEW Championship. It was Hikaru Shida versus Riho. Not going to say much. Riho got the win with a roll up. and now she goes against Nyla Rose at a later date. Next, it was quite a long storied match. It was Shawn Spears versus Cody Rhodes. Shawn Spears come out, basically he was on the stage already, sitting on a chair, which they're trying to say was the chair that he hit Cody Rhodes at Fighter Fest with over the head. Obviously deepening this rivalry. And then Tully Blanchard come out. That's quite a pivotal thing, is that he was with him. They did a weird thing with Cody Rhodes' intro. They sort of play off Star Trek, which I don't really understand, but they kind of did. They had DDP, obviously Brandy Rhodes, and MJF, and a dog, his dog, come out. He picked MJF as like his sort of ringside, obviously to sort of mirror Tully Blanchard. Them two did get involved in this match as well, which we'll get to in a minute. The match didn't really start off straight away because Cody Rhodes was in the ring. Shawn Spears was on the outside. He did a dive through the ropes outside, and they got brawling into the crowd outside. Then they brought it in. There was a nice springboard diamond cutter again. There was a crossroads, but Cody Rhodes went for the pin, only for Tully Blanchard to sort of jump up on the apron, distract the ref, and he didn't get the win. Then there was a Tully MJF they sort of teased a brawl, only for then Spears to sort of, I think he super kicked MJF out of the ring, and then they sort of had a little bit of a sort of altercation outside the ring, only for then Arn Anderson, Double A, to come out, spinebuster Shawn Spears. Spears then got a chair. He got a chair to sort of mirror what he did, but Cody Rhodes wasn't having any of it, to be honest, and then Cody Rhodes got a crossroads victory on Shawn Spears. And like I say, this was actually quite a cool match. It was really good to see this match come to a head, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Shawn Spears can do in AEW going forward with different people. Like I say, this was all what I expected it to be. I think it would have been better if they hadn't had so much interference, but I can sort of see why they've done that. Anyway, next was one of the brutalest matches, ladder matches I think I've seen for a while. It was the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers for the AAA Tag Team Championships. I say ladder match, it was kind of ladder and tables match. Where do we start? There was a double tables crash outside where they both went through table, all four men went through tables outside. There was a Canadian destroyer off the ladder through a table. Wow. All I can say is wow. I was speechless. That was an impressive move, and a very dangerous move as well. This is the reason why this sort of pile driver is kind of banned. It was banned in the WWE for quite a long while. There's now started to do it a little bit more now. I've seen them do it. But that was a very impactful move. We had one of the Young Bucks on the ladder. He got pushed off through to two tables that they set up, but he didn't really go through it. He sort of caught his legs on the ropes as he was going outside and only went through one. It looked like he smacked his head on the table. That was that was a bit concerning as well. They did a nice little spot with Pentagon Jr. with his mask. One of the Young Bucks ripped his mask off. That was quite interesting that they done that, because obviously in Lucha wrestling, the mask is really sacred, and to remove the mask of a wrestler is disrespectful. There was one of the Young Bucks was on the ladder. He fell onto the ladder as they pushed the ladder out. He fell onto it. That looked really quite, I bet he saw today after that. That looked quite brutal. But it was the Lucha Brothers that actually went and won this match. They actually retained the titles. And then two masked figures come out. They sort of set out the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks to reveal that LAX. I knew they were free agents. I kind of guessed it was them when I saw them come out. I sort of thought this is LAX. So yeah, they sort of added themselves into that mix. But this match,
those were weird masks.
Yeah, they were a little bit weird masks. It was potentially match of the night for me. It was very brutal. It was worrying and very scary at times, especially with some of the stuff they were doing. But they proved again that these two teams are just they are in the league of the best tag team wrestlers in the world today. They really are very good, high-flying Impact. And you always get a show with them. It's really entertaining to watch them. Then we get to the main event, which was for the AEW Championship. Jericho versus Hangman Page. Obviously, Jericho beat Kenny Omega, and Hangman Page won the Casino Battle Royal. This is the match. Not much to this match, to be fair. I've got to admit, there was a bit of blood. Jericho got a bit of blood, and Jericho ended up getting the win. There's not much to really say. He is now the first AEW champion, which is a bit obvious, to be honest. We kind of thought that Jericho would be the first one. You know, he's getting a bit older now. His title runs are coming slow. You know, they're getting less and less. So they kind of just give him the run, get it out and over and done with, and then they can sort of then concentrate on some of the younger talent, the ones that are more going to be there a bit longer. So yeah, that was AEW's All Out. It was okay. Out of the two, out of NXT Takeover and this one, I think this one probably pipped it just a little bit. I think because it had a few more matches and a longer time, I think this one was probably a little bit better. No CM Punk. The people were predicting that he'd appear. He didn't appear. I didn't think he would appear. Do AEW really need him? Who knows? I'm not one to say if they do or not. I think they're set going into their live TV show, which is in about a month's time.
Maybe he'll appear at the next paper.
Well, he might not. I don't think really CM Punk's business is really wrestling anymore. I don't think he really is too bothered about it anymore. I think he's done the wrestling career and he's just doing other things now. I just don't think he's really that invested in it anymore. Anyway, we'll leave it there because the video is probably going to go quite long because there's quite a lot to talk about. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, which will be the week of WWE Raw and SmackDown. So I'll say goodbye. Say goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.